love Google Slides. So a couple things we're going to talk about. This is a polling add-on in Google Slides, and we are going to talk about that a little later, and you can use this with your students while you're presenting using Zoom. And I'm going to continue on. Let me change to Google Slides and Canvas, a powerful combination for moving online. My name is Paige Durham. I am the instructional designer at Germanna Community College. Our chat facilitators are Forrest Smith, Terry Milroy, and Sherry Prupus from the system office. So first of all, where are Google Slides? The next thing we're going to discuss is converting from PowerPoint. Then we're going to talk about embedding inside of Canvas. And then we'll discuss some add-ons, Slido and Unsplash. We're going to talk about turning on captioning. Then we're going to talk about recording your presentation using Studio. And then the last thing we'll cover is some slide templates so that you don't have to recreate the wheel. Why use slides? Well, first of all, it's free. All students have it, and so do you. It has lots of templates. Offline access works. So if you have a reason to work offline, or your students need to work offline, they can do that with slides. It can open PowerPoints, or it can convert them. There's no need to save because it's automatic. You can publish to the web. You can use some new Google fonts. It's very easy to share. If you notice that I have closed captioning turned on, and it's using artificial intelligence. It has built-in Q&A. You can present using while you're in Google Hangouts, and if you're not in Zoom. It has a version history. It's easy to put media in, and it also will type out your speaker notes. So if you didn't want to type your speaker notes and you just wanted to speak them, you could choose that option and put them in. Finding Google Slides. Well, where do they live? So when you log into your MyVCCS account for whatever college that you're with, you're going to get to the page that has several icons. Those main portal, and I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what I'm talking about, so we make sure everybody knows. If I log into my GCC and I get into my portal, and now you can see all of the apps that are available. From here, I'm going to click on Gmail. Now, I know that seems a bit strange to get to Google Slides from here, but this is how it works. So the next thing you're going to do is up here in the far right, you're going to click on the waffle. Here is where you are going to be able to find your Google Slides. So now let's go back to, so here it is, kind of much larger for you to see. And this, as you can also see, you can reach all of the other Google tools from the same place. Now, you can access slides in two places. You can access it just like we saw by clicking on directly on the slides. Oh, let me show you that again. So you can click right here, or you can go to Drive and access slides. So if I clicked on Drive, then my options would be to click New and then click Google Slides. So you can either do it from directly from your Gmail, then the waffle, then slides, or you can open your Drive, then click on plus, and then get to slides. So let's have a little test run, and so I can show you. So now let's click on our Google Drive. And notice that when this opens, I have 3 choices. But over here is the new, and if I click on new, and then I click on Google Slides, now you can see I have started a presentation. Many of you came to this session because you want to know how to convert or put your PowerPoints in to your Drive as a Google Slide presentation. So let's talk about how to do that. We're going to click on New again. And this time we're going to click on File, Upload. From here, we're going to find a PowerPoint. I'm just going to pick any of these. Pick this one, and I'm going to click Open. Now, if you notice at the bottom, you can see that that PowerPoint is uploading to my Google Drive. When I click on this, it opens. However, you can see that it's still a PowerPoint. If I want to open this inside, now what I'm going to do is up here at the top, I'm going to click on Open With, and now I'm going to choose Google Slides. So if I wait just a second, or maybe a second or a little bit more. I think this was a pretty large PowerPoint, so it had 42 slides, I believe. What's going to happen is once this has converted and gotten into Google, there we go. Now you can see that the PowerPoint is still a PowerPoint by looking up here in the top, and you can see this .pptx. So the .pptx means that Google has kept it as a PowerPoint. Now I could choose to put this directly into Canvas in this format. Or I can go to File, and I can choose to save as Google Slides. So I'm going to choose that because I want to show you what the difference is. Or actually, I'm going to make a copy. There's a reason I'm doing this. I know it seems strange to have 2 copies, but I'm going to leave one as a PowerPoint, and then I'm going to convert the other one into Google Slides so that you are able to see the difference when you put them, when we get to the part where we put them inside of Canvas. So now that it is all copied over, I'm going to click on File again, and this time I'm going to click as Save as Google Slides. And it's converting it right now. So let's go back and talk about a little review. So from PowerPoints to Slides. In your Google Drive, click on Plus New, then File, Upload. Choose the PowerPoint file that you want to use. If the upload is successful, you will see the following. So you're going to see the green check mark. Now you're going to click on the title of the file. Then you're going to click on Open With, which is going to be at the top of the screen, and choose Google Slides. And now the PowerPoint will open in Google Slides, and you'll know it's there because you will see the .pptx. Now, here's a few things. Your file's now in Google Drive. You can leave it, and you can still share the link, or you can still embed it. You can make edits that will be saved on this new version of your PowerPoint, but it will not make changes in your original PowerPoint presentation that is on your computer. You can change the theme, you can edit the slides. You can share with students from here, and you can embed Canvas, and then you can also, as we did, convert it to a Google Slide presentation. So now I'm going to give you a little activity. I would like for you to log in and locate your Google Slides. Then I would like for you to find a PowerPoint that you would like to use and upload it. And then you can either make some changes from there, or save it as a Google slide. So 2 minutes for a little activity.
I'm sorry.
All right. Hopefully you were able to at least get to your Google slides and find a PowerPoint and get it into your drive. Now let's talk about embedding inside of Canvas. Why would you like to embed? Well, first of all, the students don't have to download it to view it. They can view it within Canvas. You can make changes in Google Drive, and they will show up in the version that you have embedded inside of Canvas. It allows for collaboration, and you can also just choose to use a link. So if you look inside of Canvas, you have toolbar options, but let's go back and talk about how to get that presentation inside of Canvas. All right, so now we're in a course, and I'm going to go over here to modules. And I'm going to start in this begin here module. Seems like a good spot. And I'm going to click on the plus. And now I'm going to click on a page. And I'm going to click on a new page, give it a name. Add item. So now that I have a page and I have a name, now I'm going to click on the name of the page. Nothing here. Click on edit. Now, my rich content editor is the new one. So when everybody gets to the new one, to find your Google Drive, you're going to click on the little plug. You're going to scroll down and you're going to click on Google Apps. From here, I can either search for that presentation that I just did, which was this one. So now notice that you can see that I have this yellow icon says that this is a Google slide presentation. And these two icons tell me that they are PowerPoint. So I'm going to click on the first one, which was the PowerPoint we did not convert. And I'm going to click on Embed. And you get a yellow flashy box. And then you're going to get, and there's the PowerPoint. Now, if you notice, the PowerPoint is, you can scroll down. Oh, maybe. Okay, it's not liking right now. And I'm going to click Save and Publish. So now, if I wanted, now you can see that I have the ability to scroll through the PowerPoint. So all 40 slides are there. And notice that I am scrolling and not using a toolbar at the bottom. So now I'm going to go back to modules. And I'm going to click on the plus again. And this time I'm going to add it as an assignment. So and I'm going to click Add Item. And now I'm going to click on the title of the item. And I'm going to click on Edit. And I'm going to click on the plug. And I'm going to click on Google Apps. And I'm going to put in that title so I can find it. And this time I'm going to choose okay, well, hold on. A little snafu. That's not a problem though. We'll just go back and try it again. It was there and then it disappeared. All right, now I'm going to click on the copy, and we know that this time it is a Google slide presentation that was converted from a PowerPoint. Now you can see that there is a toolbar at the bottom that students would be able to use. So I would just give the assignment some points and no submission, save and publish. Obviously, if that was a real assignment, I would have completed all of that. I just want to show you what the difference looks like inside of Canvas. So now you can see at the bottom, you have the ability to play the slides as you would in the class. So students could one at a time go through, or they can choose to use this. They also have, here's your laser pointer. This icon means to full screen, and these are some settings. So I could open the speaker notes or some other things. So now let's go back. So these are those toolbar options, a little bit larger for you to see. The laser pointer is at the bottom. And if you clicked on the more, students would have the ability to print, to download as a PDF, or they can even download it as a PPTX, so a PowerPoint file. So even though you put it inside of Canvas, students still have the ability to download. So for our second activity, I would like for you to go to your Canvas sandbox or course, click on modules, and add a module, kind of call it Google, and then within that, add a new page and put something in there as an embedded Google slide. And then once you've done that, you should be able to do the second choice. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to embed a Google slide presentation inside of Canvas. Before I move on, I want to make sure, since I've neglected to show you this, this is the rich content editor that you all are used to seeing. So if I wanted to find that same Google presentation, I could click on the V here and click on Google Apps. And that will allow me to find the file that I was looking for in the rich content editor that many of you see currently. All right, so it's time for another little poll. All right, so let me go back before I go on. I'm gonna cancel out of this, okay. So I'm gonna go over here to modules. And this time I'm gonna click on plus module, and I'm gonna show you how to add a module. I neglected that. And click add module. Now, with Canvas, it always adds it at the bottom, but you can always move it. So if I wanted to move this module, I want to move it all the way to the top, I can click that, and now it's all the way at the top. So now if I want to add anything to this module, I will click on the plus. And from here, I can click on a page, a new page. And click add item. And I can click on again. And again, the edit. So once I get into edit, now you're going to see the rich content editor. And again, to find the Google, it's going to be the Google Slides. You're going to click on the V in the center and click on Google Apps. And then you would just search for the presentation that you were wanting to put inside of Canvas. All right, now let's go back. So, do you think you will embed Google Slides as Google Slides, or will you embed them as PPTs? So most of you seem to be thinking that you preferred the way the Google Slides looked as opposed to the PPT. Again, it's just a personal preference. The students have the ability to see and view either. But what's nice about it is that they don't have to download the file in order to view it. All right, let's go on. So here's a little side-by-side comparison of two things that I put inside of Canvas. If you notice, the one on the left is a embedded Google slide presentation, and the one on the right is a embedded PPT file. So I did not convert it to Google Slides. So basically, it is all about navigation. So you can see that at the bottom of this one, they have the ability to go forward with using the arrow, and then this one, they would actually have to use the scroll bar. So now let's talk about some add-ons for slides. Add-ons are things that you can find in the Google Marketplace, and how to find those add-ons. Let's go back to our presentation. And over here, I'm going to click on add-ons right up here at the top. And then, as you can see, I already have some, but now I'm going to click on, let's pretend I didn't have these, and I'm going to click on Get Add-ons. So what this is going to do is take you to the Google Suite Marketplace. These are all of the add-ons that you have available to you. that will work with your Google Slides. Now, what I would suggest that you do is if you click on them, let's try this one. So Flat for Docs. So this is a music notation add-on. And you can see that there's some information. So if you wanted to read about it and figure out how it works, you can also look at the reviews. So you can decide whether or not this it's a good add-on, or if it doesn't have very many uses, then you probably would want to choose something else. So you can look and see by reviews, or by how many people have downloaded. And if you notice, these little icons underneath can tell you what the app or add-on can be in. So for example, this one can be used in Docs, Slides, Sheets, or in Drive. So each of these tells you exactly what it is. And you can see there are quite a few of them. Some of them don't have a whole lot of the stars. If you start scrolling down toward the bottom, you're going to start seeing that the stars get fewer and fewer and fewer. So that's something to keep in mind. So once you've picked the one you want, so you're going to go to add-ons, and then you're going to click Get Add-ons. And you're going to look for the one that you want. You might want to check out a few of them. And then when you've decided that you want it, after you've read it, you can click on Install. Then you click Continue. Then you choose your @email.vccs.edu account, allow, and then done. So now let's go back and do that in our, let's look at, let's actually just go back to this one. Okay, so now I'm going to click on Install. And then it's going to ask me if I give it permission. I'm going to say Continue. And now I'm going to choose my email.vccs.edu account. It's going to ask me to allow this, and I'm going to click Allow. And you get the little spinny wheel. And then you can click Done. So now I can close this window. And if I go up here to the top under add-ons, I should see that new add-on, and there it is. So what is Slido? So Slido is interactive polling. It's multiple choice, open text, word cloud, ratings. You can actually do quizzes. So if I wanted to find out some information on Slido, if I go to their website, and right now, educators are allowed to get a free Slido account up until July, I believe. So you can click on Get Started, and you're going to make sure that you link this to your EDU account. Otherwise, you will not have the ability to get the free teacher version. It helps you see what in real time what students think about questions that you ask. They can also put questions in the Q&A. They can leave feedback for you. And so there are all of these things that you can take and view. And notice that this also works in Zoom webinars. Oh, it says join our wait list. They're working on that one. So anyway, that's Slido. You also have analytics that you can see with the presentations. Okay, so this is just what I went over, so I'm going to go ahead and go on to the next one. So let's do another little poll. What do you think of Slido? So this was one of the rating ones. And so you can see that if you think this would be something that would be nice to use in class, even if a class is obviously going to be online. So it works great. I mean, your students have their mobile device. If they're there, it gives you instant feedback. You could ask questions in your presentations, like, we just went over some really very complex concepts. Is there a concept that you would like to know more about? And you could put those down as options, and then they could actually show you what they thought they needed more help with. Or you could talk about feedback as far as what the how they thought the online class was going, or you could ask them questions about things in Canvas. What do you want to know more about? How can I help you find information on, let's just say, Studio, or things like that. So Slido gives you lots of options, and I really like it because it does give you some very, very fast feedback. The next thing I want to talk about is Unsplash add-on. So Unsplash is Creative Commons, copyright free unless you see otherwise. You can change it, add it, use it. It's searchable. They're all high resolution photos. You can use it outside of Google Slides. And it also happens to be the choice that you have inside of Canvas. So Unsplash is being used in a lot of different places. So now let's take a look at what Unsplash can do. So I'm going to go back to my empty presentation. Actually, it's not empty, but and now I'm going to click on the add-ons, and I already have Unsplash, the add-on, and I'm going to click on Insert Unsplash Photo. So now you can see that I have a little toolbar on the right-hand side that has come out, and I have some images that automatically showed up. I have no idea why those are picked, but they're pretty. So now, but let's say I want to look for something specific. So let's say I want to look for this. Let's see if we can find, okay, well, that's very interesting that it did not show anything remotely close to what I typed in. Oh, well, let's see if I type on coronavirus. Let's see what we get. Oh, well, that's really interesting. So hand sanitizer, some little images, and all kinds of things. So you can find anything. And now if I want to put any of these images inside my presentation, I can simply click on the image that I want. And now obviously that took up the whole slide. So now let's make that a little bit smaller because that's a little bit big, and put it right in the center. So you can move the pictures around, you can find anything. Again, Unsplash is free to use. You don't have to pay for it. It just makes it super easy to find. So what do you think of Unsplash? It's really easy to use, which makes it really nice if you're looking for images and you don't want to search the internet and have 1,500 windows open and all kind of stuff. It does make it very, very simple to find nice quality, high quality images. All right, so I have a little activity for you. I'd like for you to find you an add-on in the Google Marketplace and that you would like to add to your Google Slides. And 2 minutes. Ready, set, go. All right. Hopefully everybody found at least one add-on that they would like to use with their Google Slides. Some of you may have noticed that there was captioning that was turned on. Captioning only works in Google Chrome. If you are in Firefox or anything else, you cannot use the captioning. So let's talk about the captioning. So I'm going to turn the captions back on. Now, this is AI captioning with presentations. You can change the positioning of the text. So at the bottom, next to the caption bar, I can put the text in different places. I can put it at the top, I can put it at the bottom. I can also make the text size small, medium, large, and extra large. So it is for live text. It does not get saved. So students would only see it while it was happening unless you were recording or your screen with Zoom or Studio. So those are the two options, but the text, it doesn't get saved as a separate file. And it is live. So while the presentation is going on, it's being captioned. But unless you are recording, screen recording, you would not be able, those captions would not be saved. Do you think the AI has done a good job of captioning the presentation so far? If you hadn't been paying attention prior to this, you might want to look at the top of the screen and see if it's getting most of the words that I'm saying. I think it's a very awesome tool. So if you notice, most people think that it was pretty good. And it was amazing to me at first that the AI was able to do a good job. The only issue, of course, is punctuation and capitalization. But the words are there, so for students who prefer to read it, they would still be able to read. Now we're going to talk about recording your presentation using Canvas Studio. One of the things that I wanted to bring up today is the difference between Zoom and Studio. Zoom is something that is best used for live synchronous sessions that maybe all students can attend, so then that would be why you would record it. If it's just you giving a presentation and your students don't have to be there, then you would want to use Studio as your option. So if you wanted to give a very brief, do your lectures in like 15, 20 minutes, then you want to use Canvas Studio. So where is Studio? Studio is found by going to the global navigation in your course, and Studio is right down here, right above the help. It will capture your entire screen and everything on it. And also you can choose to leave the webcam on and have yourself in a small window at the bottom. If you are in Chrome, when you click on Record, you may be asked to open the screen recorder launcher, and that is perfectly acceptable for you to click and say yes. So let's do a little quick Studio. So if I click on Studio, and I wait patiently, there we go. And now you can see the options are up here at the top to record or to add. So I'm going to choose record, and I'm going to choose screen capture. And now I did have a little window that popped open. Hopefully you can see it. That says Recorder Launcher, and then I'm going to click on Open Link. And it's asking me to download, but I already have it, so I don't know why it's asking me that. It may not let me do this because I'm using Zoom, so I won't be surprised if it does. There we go. So if you notice now I have a little black and white box that I can resize. Hopefully you can see it. It's not real, but there's a bar here, so I could make it bigger. And now you can see I have some options of screen, webcam, or both. If I choose both, I'm going to, there's my webcam, and I can move that down there. Also notice that the narration is here, so you want to make sure that that is flashing. There are some preferences that you could click on. You can also move the window. So if I wanted to make it as big, and then I could record my screen and myself. So I could also just use the screen, and then obviously the webcam would go away. So that's an option that you can use to record your slide presentation. So more information on Studio, and we do have a session coming up. So if you would like more information, you can click on Help, and then search the Canvas guides, and then click on Studio. And that will have lots of written tutorials about how to use Studio. Slide templates. So if you don't want to recreate the wheel and you just want to use something that has already been made, you can use slide templates. I'm going to go back to my Google Drive, and I'm going to go over here and click on New. And now instead of clicking directly on Google Slides, I'm going to hover over until I get a little pop-out that says Blank Presentation or From a Template. So here you can see I have lots of templates to choose from. The flashcard template might be something that you want to use for your students to use as a review. There are all kinds of things that you can find here. However, that's not all that you can find. There are many other websites that have free templates that are perfect to use for education. So there's one that I like called slidesgo.com. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to type in slidesgo.com. Now you can see all of these are templates that you can use inside of Google Slides or PowerPoint. So we have, I'm just going to pick e-learning. This is an e-learning presentation, and notice that I can actually change the colors on it. And so I could make it whatever color I wanted to. There's a back to school. There also at the top, you can see there are other templates that are available to you. Let's click on the e-learning presentation now that I've made it that color. And then it gives you the option use as a Google Slides theme. So you have that, and if you need any help with how to use it, there are some tutorials right on the page. There are a couple other websites that have lots of templates, Google Slides PowerPoint and Google Slides themes. These, the slide presentation will be available to you on our edtech.vccs.edu website. Let me say that again, edtech.vccs.edu website. Now, there's one of the questions that was one of the, I was checking the captions to see what it was picking up. So you've got lots of things that we've gone over today. We've gone over slides, embedding, studio, templates, and all kinds of other things that you can choose to use with slides. So what do you think you're going to try first? So this is a word cloud option that you do have in Slido. So you can put in words, and the more words that show up, the more words that you will see on the poll. If you have questions and you would like to see anything as another quick review, please make sure you type that in the chat, and I will be glad to go back and review. If you want to see what it looks, the embedding option inside of Canvas, I can do that again as well. All right, let's do a quick wrap up. So we located our slides in our drive through our VCCS email account. We converted a PowerPoint. We also kept a PowerPoint. We embedded in Canvas as a PowerPoint and as a Google slide. We looked at the add-ons of Slido and Unsplash. We looked at turning on captioning. We also looked at recording using Studio and slide templates. So now if you have questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat. And if you would be so kind as to go and type in this web address and complete our survey so we know how we did and what you would like to see more of. And last but not least, I would like to tell you, thank you all for coming to join us today. And this slide deck will be available to you. And we would like to say thank you from all of the ELIT group. And if you